Hi, good evening. Thanks for joining us on a Monday. I'm Mary Darling. If you don't know me, I'm a playwright, director, owner of Museful Intent. So this is stage reading of Jordan's new play called Remedial. We've worked on this. If you're not familiar with workshopping plays, that's kind of what we've been doing. So it's seen some rewrites. We've got a really great cast here. They're going to introduce themselves. Jordan's also going to introduce himself.
Yes, I am.
And this is the first time he's doing something like this. Let's give a round of applause. It's hard to do it. You may recognize him as an actor, but he's also a writer. You can say what you want about yourself now.
Cool. Hi, I'm Jordan. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate this. This is a terrifying moment for me. This is the first time any of my work has been done for people who are not directly involved. So when this is on Broadway, you guys can say you were the first. This is a show that I wrote last year. I don't have a great story for where this came from. It just sort of clicked, and I started writing, and then it happened. And then being able to work with all of these people has been amazing. They've helped me to refine it and shape it into what it is. It's
me?
Yeah.
Even Billy.
You know what? Especially you, Billy. Billy was the first person to read this script, and he gave me lots and lots and lots of notes. Lots of notes. And I appreciated that. So having him here is great.
Jordan was originally not in this, but we
Right.
did have an actor drop out, so Jordan will also
Yes.
be playing a role tonight.
So if you were here for Stephen Clark,
Sorry.
sorry. He is unable to make it tonight, so go easy on me.
And it's going to be a great show. Thank you all for coming.
Right.
The first thing I'd like to do is have the actors at least give a quick introduction of themselves. So, Tey, would you start?
I'm Tey. I will be reading Dr. Hamilton.
Hello, I'm Laura. I'll be reading for Angel.
Hi, my name is Maggie. I'll be reading for Cameron.
If you weren't paying attention earlier, I'm Jordan. I'll be reading for Jamie.
I'm Asher. I'll be reading for Blake.
I'm Ginny. I'll be reading for Devin.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'll be reading for Morgan.
I'm Brian. I'll be reading Robin.
And again, I'm Billy Bolster. I will be reading the stage directions because the actors will not be moving very much. I have to set the scene, so I'm the most important. This evening, you'll be watching a staged reading of Remedial by Jordan A. Miller. The play alternates between three locations: Dr. Hamilton's office, a classroom, and a barroom. Act 1, Scene 1. Dr. Hamilton's office. Robin is on the couch while Dr. Hamilton sits across from him.
And has the medication been helping at all?
I don't know. I guess I don't want to jump in front of a bus anymore.
Was that something you were contemplating before?
It's just a figure of speech, Doc. I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me.
I definitely do need to worry about you. You've experienced significant trauma, and these medications can be a little unpredictable at first. I need to make sure that you're really okay.
I'm okay. It's definitely not making me happy or anything, but I'm okay.
Well, the medication isn't going to make you happy. Think of it like a crutch when you have a broken ankle. The crutch isn't going to heal it, but it will prevent you from making it worse, and it'll at least take some of the pain away. You'll only be truly happy if you heal.
Yeah, well, that doesn't seem particularly plausible at the moment.
One step at a time. We're still very early in this journey. Have a little faith, and you might be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, today's the big day, huh?
I would hardly count this as an occasion to be celebrated, but yes.
It's a new start, an opportunity.
It's an evening class in remedial English for a bunch of adults who don't know the difference between 2, 2, and 2. But for some reason, they still have delusions of adequacy when it comes to obtaining a degree. I wouldn't be surprised if half of them drop out of whatever community college is boasting 100% acceptance rate before the first year's even over. The whole thing is farcical.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I know. I'm being judgmental again. Sorry, it's hard to view this as anything other than a colossal regression for my career.
Remember what we discussed last week about those sorts of feelings?
Yeah, life isn't linear. Progress is not a straight line. Progress looks more like a handful of spaghetti that's been flung across the room.
Okay, well, it's definitely not how I worded it. But yes, that is the right idea. This isn't a step back, it's just a step in a different direction. And you never know what blessings you might find hiding behind things that seem like a curse at first.
Do they just hand you a book of pithy cliches when you graduate?
No, sadly, we have to accumulate them on our own as part of our master's program.
Are therapists allowed to be sarcastic with their clients?
We're allowed to be sarcastic back. But stop trying to change the subject. Now, don't you think there could be anything good to come out of teaching this class?
I do not. This is simply a punishment I must endure, like going to prison. I will do my time and look forward to my release back into the real world.
If that's the way you choose to look at it, this will be a very unpleasant experience for you.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you.
Okay, well, I'm afraid we're out of time for today. I have you down for same time next week. I look forward to hearing how this class goes.
Yippee.
Robin rises and heads for the door. He pauses and turns back. The bravado is temporarily gone.
You know what, Doc? I don't know if I can do this.
Robin, I truly believe you can do absolutely anything.
Robin slowly exits. Blackout, scene 1. Act 2, scene 2. Later that night, students are sitting in the classroom waiting.
I don't know. This is my first class. I don't really know what to expect. All my teachers in high school suck, though.
I looked him up on Rate My Professor, but there was nothing there. Must be his first class, too.
Great. A rookie professor, just what we needed.
I'm sure he'll be great. They wouldn't let him teach if he wasn't knowledgeable, and he wouldn't be teaching if he didn't love doing it.
I don't think I ever had a teacher that loved it. Every one of them hated kids.
Maybe they just hated you.
Excuse me?
I'm kidding, man. Lighten up. You seem super lovable. Hey, man, you haven't said anything yet. What's your story?
What do you mean?
Are you, like, trying to go to college or what?
Yeah?
Ah, you're a real chatty Cathy, huh?
No, not really.
Yeah, that was sarcasm, my dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good talk.
It's 5 minutes after 6. Do you think he died?
Nah, man, he's probably just outside having a butt.
Having a butt? Doesn't everyone have a butt?
Are you for real?
I think I'm confused.
I think so too.
Well, anyway, I'm excited.
Why is that?
I never thought I'd want to go back to school, but I think I'm ready. New year, new me, starting tonight.
That's nice. I definitely wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have to. Hope it's everything you dreamed of.
Robin enters and pauses in the doorway to survey the room. Robin writes his last name on the board.
All right, everyone. May I have your attention? Sorry about my slight tardiness. My name is Dr. Robin Gamble, and I'll be your instructor this semester.
Robin? Yo, shouldn't you be out fighting crime with Batman?
Wow, that's original.
Wait, you're a doctor. Why are you teaching English?
I hold a doctorate in English literature from Stanford University. I can't prescribe medicine if that's what's confusing you.
Oh, so you're not a doctor?
I am.
Right, you a doctor, but if someone yells out, "Is there a doctor in here?" you're just as useless as the rest of us. Unless they need, like, an emergency haiku or something.
Okay, well, firstly, a haiku is a form of Japanese poetry, and as such, it doesn't really fall under the umbrella of English. Though, I suppose your main point is not wholly invalid. Okay, you know what? Let's just get down to business here, unless any of you comedic geniuses have a real zinger about my last name, just to round it all off.
Oh, I would make fun of your last name, but it sounds like a big risk.
Okay, yeah, I asked for that one. That's on me.
I don't get it.
His last name is Gamble.
Oh, I still don't get it.
Let's just take attendance, shall we? Jamie,
Yeah, what's up?
a simple present will suffice. Thank you. Devin,
What up, dog?
Morgan,
Present, sir.
thank you. Cameron,
That's me, but my mom called me Cameron. Everybody on the street call me Body Cam.
And why, pray tell, do they call you Body Cam?
Because of this body.
Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to regret that. Blake,
Here.
which means you must be Angel. All right, welcome to Foundations in English Language Arts. This class is to help get you up to speed on basic writing so that you can be prepared for the papers you'll need to write over your college career. First, we'll need to go over the basic parts of a sentence. Are you familiar with the subject and predicate?
No, man, what's a predicate? I've never heard that word before.
A predicate is basically the part of a sentence that explains what happens to the subject.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What is the subject again?
The subject is the noun about which the sentence is written.
And a noun is a person, right?
Are you guys serious? You don't know what a noun is? Okay, I'm sorry. That's not fair of me. It's my job to teach you these things. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. There are numerous types of words. First up, we have a noun. Does anyone know what a noun is? Anyone?
Person, place, or thing.
Good. Thank you, Blake. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Can anyone give me an example of a noun?
Barack Obama.
Yes. Good job.
Wu-Tang Clan.
I don't know what that is, but the structure sounds like a noun. Sure.
Oh, Uranus!
I'm going to assume you mean the planet, in which case, yes. Although I guess the other definition is also a noun.
Oh, does that mean I get extra credit?
No.
But wait, that's like everything. So is everything a noun?
Everything you can see and touch is a noun, yes. Ideas are also nouns, but there are other types of words. Does anyone know what a verb is?
Oh, I know that. It's what you verb. It's what you do. I saw that in a commercial when I was a kid.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but yes. Basically, a verb is what you do. It's an action word. Can anyone give me an example of an action word?
Ooh. Yes, like run or jump.
Exactly. Any others?
Like work?
Sure. Good one.
Expectorate.
What the hell is that?
It's a fancy word that means to spit.
Devin, how did you know that word?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, yes. Expectorate is a great example of a verb. My personal favorite verb is defenestrate, which means to throw something or someone out the window.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna start using that when my kids act up. Y'all go to bed now, or I'm gonna defenestrate ya.
Okay. Does anyone know any other types of words?
Teach, what's an adverb? I never get that right.
Excellent question. An adverb is basically a word that describes a verb. It tells you how the verb is done. So let's use our imagination for a second and say that you see me driving on a highway. How am I driving?
Slowly.
Okay.
Like an old man.
Well, that's on the right track, but actually in that context, like is used as a preposition.
Oh, you're not supposed to end a sentence with those.
Correct. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Any other ideas on adverbs?
I don't know, like angry? You're driving angry. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. So in this case, angry is not the word you would use. You would say, I'm driving angrily. Angry is an adjective. I am angry. Adjective. I have anger. Noun. I behave angrily. Adverb. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I get it. Do they all end in Lee?
So a lot of them do, yes. Most of the ones that modify verbs do for sure. However, adverbs can also modify adjectives. Can anyone think of a word that modifies an adjective?
What's an adjective?
Right. We didn't discuss that yet. Okay, so an adjective is a word that describes a noun. Someone give me a noun.
Uranus.
Someone give me a different noun.
The New York Knicks.
Okay, yes, but let's pick something simpler.
An apple.
Good. Let's use an apple.
Teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Really? Cameron? We're all adults here. All right. Give me words that describe an apple.
Red.
Sweet.
Juicy.
Okay, sure. Those are all good. Any others?
Fruit.
Fruit is another noun. This goes into articles, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Bro, this is way too much learning.
Yes. You should probably be taking notes.
Yeah. But I didn't bring a pencil. Or paper.
Okay, well, you can take some for this class, but please come prepared next week.
Robin passes Cameron some supplies.
Where
were we? Adverbs.
Yes. So you said adverbs can also be used on adjectives. So, like, very sweet?
Yes. Very is a common adverb used to modify adjectives. Any others?
Pale.
No, Blake, pale is an adjective, like a pale complexion. Complexion is a noun, so pale is describing a noun. That makes it an adjective.
Oh, yeah, teacher's pet was wrong.
What about in a pale blue sky?
Well, blue is an adjective, pale is modifying it. That's interesting. Let's look it up.
He consults his iPhone.
Okay, someone asked this exact question on Reddit. Oh, actually, that's probably you. Are you Blake Johnson 72?
Yeah, they weren't very helpful on there either.
Oh, your username is just your name? You gotta be more creative.
Hey, we don't pick on anyone. My username is also a combination of my name with some numbers.
Yeah, but you old. Like, you gotta do something better, like, Poblano_Picasso.
I take it that's your moniker?
You know it.
I go by spicy_potato.
Okay.
Taco.
We-
Period.
We don't need to go down this road. Also, why do both of your names have to do with Mexican food? Rhetorical question.
I use the name social_piranha.
What does that mean?
It's a joke, like a play on social pariah. It's a pun. That's not a pun, dude.
No, actually, it is a pun.
Okay, but I still don't know what that means.
A pariah is like an outcast, a reject, someone who doesn't belong.
Dude, why do you know all these crazy words?
That one I know because I needed a couple words to rhyme with fire.
Pariah doesn't rhyme with fire.
It does if you're in Boston.
As riveting as this digression has been, I'd love to get back to the lesson at hand.
Instruct us then, fearless leader.
What were we talking about?
Pale.
Right. No, it doesn't say here that pale can be an adverb.
How is it not an adverb in that context?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to do some research and get back to you.
Okay, that's it, right? There's no other kinds of words?
Well, there are many other kinds of words. We won't talk about them all today. Noun, adjective, and verb are the most important. Adverbs are important too. The other one you all need to know is pronouns.
I think by now we all know about pronouns.
Okay, great. Give us an example of pronouns.
Okay. How about sie and them?
English, please.
That was English.
Come on. This is an English class.
That was English.
Some non-binary people use non-traditional pronouns.
Hold on a minute. Non-binary people use they and them.
Not all of them.
Yeah, my child uses they, them, but their best friend uses z and them.
Sorry, what? I've never heard this before. When did all of this happen?
I don't know, dude. Why are you acting like this is a problem?
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm genuinely confused. I was under the impression that non-binary individuals use they and them. I didn't realize they were making up new words as well.
Are people not allowed to make up words now? Didn't your boy Shakespeare make up like 100 words?
Okay, that's not fair. I didn't say that there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's not familiar to me at all. Things are changing very fast. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Adapt or die, bro.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on from this topic. More generally, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. Can anyone explain why we would use a pronoun? Anyone?
Because without it, we would have to use their name every time we talked about them.
Yes, that's exactly it. Talking would quickly become tedious without pronouns. So let's say I was describing Jamie's day. It would be ridiculous to say, Jamie went to Jamie's hairdresser to get Jamie's hair cut. It would be much easier if we said, Jamie, what pronouns do you prefer?
I use he, him. Thank you for asking.
Okay, great. It would be much easier to say he went to his hairdresser to get his hair cut. Do you see how much more natural that sounds?
Is this all gonna be on the test?
Just assume everything will be on the test.
Okay, but okay, whatever.
All right, let's move on to basic sentence structure.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 3. Several weeks later, Jamie, Angel, Blake, and Devin sit at a bar.
I know it's only been 4 weeks, but I want to quit.
Yeah, this isn't really what I thought I was signing up for.
How's everyone doing with that super important midterm paper?
I think I finished mine.
Already? That thing's supposed to be 750 words.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
How many words do you have?
I think 40.
I finished mine.
Oh, of course you did. Dude, why are you even in this class? You already know this stuff. I would have dropped out in 5 minutes if I had the option.
But then I'd miss all of you.
Would you, though?
Morgan enters carrying drinks. She is working behind the bar.
Okay, that's a beer for you, and a beer for you, and a margarita for you, and a Negroni for you.
Whoa, I don't think you can say that word.
It's just gin and vermouth. Want to try it?
I will never turn down free alcohol. Never mind. I'll turn down that garbage. Yuck.
I've been working here 3 years, and you're the first person that's ever ordered one of those.
Is it always this dead in here?
Thursdays are a slow day, usually. We have a couple of regulars, though. Johnny, you can't eat those orange slices. Those are for people's beers. He's a sweet guy. He just gets a little snackish when he drinks. Where's Cameron? Is she coming?
She should be here any minute. She had to work.
Oh, okay, good. Well, we'll have the whole group together. So, what are we talking about?
Whether or not we should drop this class.
No, this class is so great. I mean, maybe not great, but Robin's a little rough around the edges.
A little.
I think he means well.
What makes you think that?
Why else would he be here?
Like I said before, he's just getting paid. Same with us. I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because I need to be. He got stuck with us and we got stuck with him. I gotta say though, if all the professors are like this, I'm probably just gonna drop out again.
Are you trying to get a degree? Johnny, I'm not going to ask you again. Please stop taking those orange slices. Sorry, hun. Go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to get a degree. I didn't even finish high school. I just need to get a GED so I can get a real job.
I thought you were working with your old man or something.
Yeah, but his health's really bad because of this job. I don't want to end up like that at his age, so figure maybe I can find something better, learn how to type, become a receptionist or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to get into nursing school.
Is that where they teach you how to breastfeed?
Oh my God, Devin.
That one was a joke. I know what nursing school is.
Okay, just sometimes it's hard to tell with you.
Cameron enters holding bags from Taco Bell.
What up, everybody? I brought chalupas.
This is why we keep you around.
Are we allowed to bring outside food in here?
No, but I'm the manager tonight, and my silence can be bought.
Then please, partake.
All right, what I miss?
Not much, just whining about you-know-who.
Oh, don't even get me started on that dude. What's his problem? And what's with this stupid paper we gotta write? What made you want to come back to school?
Oh man, you got her going.
You know what I bet his deal is? I bet he doesn't know what he's talking about either, and he's just counting on us not to call his bluff.
That's definitely not true.
How do you know that, teacher's pet?
Hey, come on, be nice.
Do you guys not know who he is?
What do you mean?
Well, he...
Johnny, I swear to God, if I catch you taking one more orange slice, I'm gonna knock you on your bum so hard you'll wake up at the chiropractor.
I like you.
Thanks. Sorry, what were you saying, Blake?
No, come on. We've given that guy enough of our time as it is. Can we just enjoy ourselves tonight? Talk about literally anything else?
Okay. So, my team and I were in a League of Legends tournament this weekend.
Maybe not that either.
Hey Cam, have you ever ended up asking out that girl from your work or are you just gonna stare at her from a distance forever?
I'm playing the long game, you know? I gotta make her crazy. Can't just throw myself at her. You know, I gotta act like I don't care. I gotta get her like, oh my, why doesn't she want me? I better try harder. And then when the time is right, I lay down the voulez-vous, coucher, avec, whatever, moi.
C'est soir!
I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian. What'd she say?
She's just being rude. You should treat her better than that.
I will pamper her like the classy lady I am.
Whatever, dude.
All right, guys. Thanks for that therapy session, but I need to get home. And I gotta pick up some chunky monkey for Emily on the way.
Didn't you say chubby hubby earlier?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Yes, those are very different flavors, and if you get the wrong one, she'll probably stab you.
I will get both.
Ah, smart man.
I should probably head out too. I'm opening tomorrow.
They all begin to leave.
Okay, well, you two have fun. I'm gonna close this place down.
Hey Blake, you wanna do a shot of pickle juice with me?
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that's the point.
Sure?
Nice. Morgan, let's make this boy regret his choices.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 4. Dr. Hamilton is alone in their office, but in the middle of a telephone conversation.
Yeah, it just seems like maybe he needs a different voice. I don't seem to be able to reach him. He's a very intelligent man, very punctual, always pays on time. Come on, Jim. You know I can't tell you that. He's experienced a traumatic event, and my approach just isn't working. That's all it is. Okay, he's my next appointment. I'll mention it to him and see what he says. I really appreciate you helping me out on this one. I think so, too. Thanks, Jim. Bye. Well, Jim's never going to talk to me again after this one.
There's a knock on the door.
Come on in.
Robin enters dramatically. He has something to complain about and no one else to say it to.
Hi, Doc. Let me tell you, this last class was a doozy. I don't know how much more of these little morons I can handle.
Another difficult lesson, it sounds like.
They're driving me crazy. Tonight is the last class before spring break, and thank God for that. I need to get away from this collection of buffoons and miscreants. Last week, are you ready for this? Last week, we read The Cask of Amontillado in class. Or at least we tried to, because first we had to pause to discuss how the word Amontillado apparently kind of looks like armadillo.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
And then I had to explain that Amontillado is a type of fine wine. And one of them actually had the audacity to ask me if it's better than Snoop Dogg's wine. I didn't even know Snoop Dogg had wine. In fact, I know that he's a rapper or something, but I mainly know Snoop Dogg as Martha Stewart's best friend.
Okay, well, did they end up enjoying the story?
Who knows? We got as far as a wrong is undressed when retribution overtakes its redresser before they mutinied and refused to continue with it.
Well, maybe Poe wasn't the best choice for a remedial class.
Yeah, no kidding. I should have clearly gone with C-Spot Run.
Okay, well, that seems a little extreme, maybe.
I'm becoming less and less sure of that.
Has there been any positive side to this experience?
I mean, there's one kid that's doing really well. Name's Blake. He's a little odd. I get the feeling he already knows everything I'm teaching. I'm not exactly sure what his deal is. He doesn't belong in that class, though.
Okay, well, maybe you can ask him. You might connect with him.
Or, hear me out. I can survive the next 7 weeks, collect my paycheck, and then never think about any of these people ever again.
Robin, we've been talking about this class for a month and a half now. In all that time, you've never once spoken about any of your students with any compassion or understanding.
I don't want to understand them. If I ever get to the point where I understand what yeet means, I may defenestrate myself.
I understand that there can be a bit of a generational.
I'll say, every week they're trying to pick some kind of social justice fight with me. I've always been progressive. As a kid, I always stood up for people who were different. My brother was gay, and I always was there to defend him. They don't understand what a big deal that was back then. They just take for granted all the stuff us old people had to fight for. And then they act like I'm some kind of bigoted dinosaur because I don't know what the trans pride flag looks like. Why would I know that? It didn't exist when I was their age. And frankly, it doesn't affect my life in the slightest now.
Well, if you're planning to teach on a college campus, maybe you should familiarize yourself with this sort of thing. Or at least become curious about it. If it matters to the people you're trying to teach, shouldn't it matter to you at least a little?
Those little brats don't care about anything from my childhood. Why should I care about theirs?
Well, for one thing, your childhood is in the past. Theirs is now. And as much as we don't like to think about it, the now is more relevant.
Boy, you have all the insights, don't you?
Don't ask questions if you don't want the answer. The other reason you should care about their lives is because you're the adult. You're the one teaching. It's not their responsibility to learn how to exist in the past. It's your responsibility to prepare them for the future.
Please, none of these kids have a future.
Why don't we move on? It's been a few weeks since we talked about your medication.
Look, Doc, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if therapy is working. It doesn't seem like this is helping at all.
Robin, you have been resisting every suggestion I've made. You've made no effort to connect with anyone. In fact, you seem more and more determined to push everyone away. I can't help you if you won't help yourself.
Maybe I don't need help. Maybe I'm fine with who I am.
Then why do you keep coming to see me?
You know what? That's a great question. I have better things I could be doing.
Robin begins walking to the door.
Oh, going to spend some time with all your friends?
I'm sorry, what did you just say to me?
You said you have better things to do than discuss what's going on with your mental health. I was just curious what those things are. Are you going to spend some more time on your favorite hobby? Going to do something that will make your life or someone else's life better? Or are you going to grade a few papers and then fall asleep on the couch in front of the TV? Again.
Excuse me, where do you get off? Do you have any idea what I've gone through?
More than anyone else. And I've been here to support you through all of it. But I think you need to ask yourself how committed you are to getting better.
Am I committed to getting better? What kind of question is that?
Robin, not 2 minutes ago you said you were fine with who you are.
And you believed that? Isn't it your job to know what people mean when they say stuff?
It sure is. And I think I'm doing my level best. But don't you think there's any responsibility on you to actually say what you mean instead of hiding behind this wall of sarcasm and manufactured nonchalance?
What do you want me to say? You want me to cry about my life? You want me to tell you how I can't stand being awake because the pain is more than I can handle, but I also can't go to sleep because my dreams are haunting? You want me to talk about how I moved 1,000 miles away to escape the memories, but it doesn't matter because everywhere I go, there's something there to drudge them back up. You want me to tell you how I saw someone in the store today whose eyes were the exact same shade of blue as hers, and it sucked all of the air out of my chest. You want me to whine about how sometimes I'll actually be having a good day for like an hour, and then in an instant, and for no discernible reason, I'm gutted by an overwhelming despair that makes me question why I'm still bothering to draw breath?
Yes, those are exactly the things you should be telling me. I can't help you unless I know how to. I know it's hard for you to open up, and to an extent, I know why. But you're allowing your pride to get in the way of your recovery. You're making it so much more difficult for yourself to get better by the way you're handling all of this.
Oh, so what? I'm wallowing in my misery now? Is that what you think?
I mean...
Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just end it all if I wasn't going to try to get better? You think I like feeling this way? You think I want to be in a state of constant agony and isolation?
Do you?
Of course not.
Well, what are you going to do to change it?
I'm done with this conversation. I'm done with therapy. and I'm done with you. If I have to figure this out on my own, so be it.
Robin exits, slamming the door. Dr. Hamilton is exhausted, frustrated, and debating whether or not to feel guilty about speaking unprofessionally. Mostly, they are overwhelmed. Blackout. Act 1, Scene 5. The classroom, later that night. Jamie is not present.
I still don't understand what any of this means.
What are you not understanding? These are all elementary school words.
I know what all these words mean by themselves, but they don't make any sense together. That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. As sweet as what?
As sweet as a rose.
Yeah, man, I still don't get it either. Do roses smell sweet?
Look, it's very simple. What Juliet is saying here is that the words we use to label things are often mere words and don't carry any additional meaning. She uses the example of a rose. If it was called something else entirely, it wouldn't change what a rose is. It would still be red, it would still be beautiful, it would still have thorns. The labels we attach to things often don't carry any meaning.
Oh wow, look who just realized we shouldn't judge things by labels.
I didn't just realize
Are
this.
you two about to fight or kiss?
Okay, look. The context of Juliet's statement is discussing her attraction to Romeo. He is from the family Montague, which is the rival house to Juliet's family. She's saying that his name, and by extension his family, shouldn't be the determining factor in whether they are able to be together.
Right. I think we all understand Romeo and Juliet, but what does the rose have to do with anything?
The rose is a metaphor. Does anyone remember what a metaphor is? No one? Come on, we went over this like 2 weeks ago.
Speaking about an object as if it were something else.
Yes, thank you. So, by saying that a rose would still smell sweet if we called it something else, she's saying that Romeo is the man he is, regardless of his name Montague.
We wouldn't throw out a rose just because it was called a funny name. So she shouldn't walk away from Romeo just because his name means he's from a rival gang?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Ooh, look at Devin. Devin's so smart.
If you ask nicely, I'll impart some of my wiseness upon you.
Devin, please stop saying words now.
Jamie enters and sits down without a word.
Jamie,
Something's on his mind.
so glad you could make time in your busy schedule to see us.
Yeah, I had some stuff come up.
Well, if you're not committed to this class, you'll never get anywhere. You can't just show up whenever you please.
You know what, man? Forget it.
Did you bring your midterm paper?
Yep.
Can I have it?
Jamie takes a few papers from his bag, walks to the front of the classroom, and drops them on the desk.
Thank you. Now that that interruption is over with, let's get back to the lesson.
Someone told me that Juliet was like 13.
Yes, that's correct.
That is crazy suspicious.
No, Romeo was a straight up predator.
You know what, guys? Let's just forget about Shakespeare, okay? I don't think anyone is benefiting from this. Let's take a quick break, shall we? Meet back here in 5 minutes, please.
Robin leaves.
Nice.
Devin pulls an excessively large bag of chips from their backpack and begins eating.
Jamie, how's your dad doing?
He's okay. He's back home now, at least. Gotta go back for some tests on Friday.
That's too bad. He's not even that old, right?
Nah, he's only 47. I think he'll be okay, though. He's a fighter.
If it would help, I could bring some food by tomorrow after work. I do love cooking, and then you can focus. Then you can all focus on helping him get better. How about that?
Thanks, but you don't have to do that.
I know, but I want to.
Okay. Thank you. That would be very helpful. Do you like dogs?
I love dogs.
Good, because we got like 3 of them now for some reason.
Man, I want a dog. My slumlord won't let us have pets. I did sneak a hamster in though. His name is Hammy Davis Jr.
I have a goldfish named Puppy.
Of course you do. How about you, Blake? What's new?
I just learned most ancient cultures didn't have a word for blue.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like what did they call the sky?
They just didn't talk about the sky as being a color.
You sound confident, so I'm gonna trust you, but that sounds made up.
Devin, what do you have there?
Honey barbecue. Want some?
Yes, please.
Cool. I also have a case of Red Bull in here if anyone wants one.
Which flavor?
Green.
Oh yeah, the nectar of the gods.
Who needs 7-Eleven when we have Devin? Oh, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even realize it.
Robin re-enters.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I recognize that wasn't a very helpful lesson. I should have prepared better for class. I could never get the hang of Mondays.
It's Tuesday.
What is Tuesday but the disappointing sequel to Monday?
Devin, I honestly can't tell if you're a genius or one of the dumbest people I've ever met.
Thanks. I get that a lot.
Okay, so Shakespeare was a bit much.
Yeah, did people actually talk like that back then?
Sort of. People mostly understood it, I think. But he was a very educated person and he was writing to entertain. So he used words and phrases that other people wouldn't normally use.
Like a 17th century defenestrate.
It was actually 16th century, but that's not important right now. Also, please stop saying defenestrate. It's making me dislike it. Okay, rather than getting bogged down in obsolete phraseology, let's move on to something more useful.
Oh, yo, I have a question.
Okay, what can I help you with?
My kids have to read Three Musketeers for school. What is with that dude's name?
What dude? D'Artagnan?
No, the dumbass guy who wrote it.
Alexander Dumas? What do you mean, what's with his name?
Wait, what did you say?
I said, what's strange about Alexander Dumas' name?
Angel types something in on her phone.
Oh, he's French. Never mind.
Angel,
Robin?
did you think Dumas was pronounced dumbass?
I think if someone did, that would be a perfectly reasonable conclusion to come to.
Excuse me, sir. I was wondering, if you could help me with a specific question that I have.
Yeah, I guess so. What's the question?
Well, my child River keeps bringing home assignments that I don't understand. Yesterday, they had to write something with a bibliography. I looked up what that means, but I don't get it. There are a few different kinds, too. Like there's an MLB, an ASPCA.
Okay, first of all, it's MLA and APA. Have you never done a bibliography? It's a pretty standard part of the high school curriculum.
Well, to be honest, I just didn't pay attention in high school. I thought I knew everything I needed to know, so I partied and I drank. I definitely didn't study.
I feel like you and I would have gotten along real well.
Well, you must have done okay. You graduated at least, right?
I'm still not sure how my grades were good enough to graduate. I didn't really learn anything.
I see. And you're feeling like you need to rectify that so you can help your child.
Yeah, I have 2 children. My oldest River is in 7th grade, and I don't understand what they're bringing home. And I can't tell them that they have to study when I never did.
Sometimes I regret teaching my children the concept of fairness.
Always comes back to bite us, doesn't it? So anyway, I'm trying to be a good role model, and every day after school we talk about what they learned. And every night after class, we talk about what I learned. And River wants to work for NASA someday. So I keep telling them they got to work hard in school.
Good for you. I'm sure they'll get that message loud and clear with your example. What does your other child want to be?
Oh, she wants to be a cat, but she's only 4. So we'll let that dream live on a little bit longer.
That's wonderful. Little kids are just the best, aren't they?
One of my boys' life plan is to marry Sabrina Carpenter, and he's 13, so...
We should get your boys together with River. They don't have a lot of friends their age.
I like that idea. A little play date. We'll talk later.
Okay, we can discuss bibliographies briefly. So there are 3 main formats, but you'll use MLA much more often.
Robin turns and begins writing something on the board. Angel and Cameron have a brief, whispered conversation. Angel makes a motion as if to say, ask him.
You teach.
Yes, Cameron?
So a couple of us were talking this weekend, and, well, we ended up Googling you.
Robin freezes. He's been dreading this moment.
I see. And what did you find when you Googled me?
That you're like a writer. A real writer, like with books and stuff.
And they turned one of your books into a TV show.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was called Dragonfly.
On Sci-Fi? I loved that show. You wrote that?
Not exactly. I wrote the book it was based on, and then I consulted with the TV adaptation.
Oh my god! I can't believe it!
Dude, that's awesome. Was it about like a giant dragonfly fighting Godzilla or something?
What? No. It was about a group of scientists who cryogenically froze themselves for hundreds of years in a bunker so that humanity would survive an impending cataclysm. It was called Project Dragonfly for allegorical reasons that I fear would be lost on this group.
It's actually really cool, man. We should read your book instead of this Shakespeare stuff.
Wait! If you worked on this show, did you get to meet Matthew Hansen?
Yes. He's a jerk. In fact, pretty much every actor I ever worked with was a jerk. Actors are just bad people.
Yo, can I get your autograph?
No,
Why didn't you tell us about this?
because it was a different life. The first book did well, but people were somewhat less enthusiastic about the sequel. Show was canceled after 2 seasons. It's in the past.
In the past, yeah, but that's still huge.
Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you teaching a handful of adults what nouns are? Shouldn't you be in Hollywood doing scripts or some isolated cabin feverishly writing novels until you go insane?
Life is just funny sometimes. Can we get back to the lesson, please?
Here we go. I torrented a copy of the book.
You did what to the book?
It means he downloaded it illegally.
Like LimeWire.
Was that supposed to clarify the situation?
About the author, Robin Gamble, graduated with a doctorate in English literature from Stanford University in 1996. Okay, this is boring.
I really must insist we get back to the lesson now.
Dedicated to my beautiful wife, Anita, without whom this book would still just be an idea in my head. Didn't know you were married.
Okay, this conversation is over.
How come you ain't wearing a ring?
That's enough. My personal life is just that. Personal. I don't go nosing around in your business asking why a bunch of 20-somethings need to be taught things that 8-year-olds know. I just show up and do it because that's my job. We're not friends, we're barely acquaintances. Someday, very soon, I will say goodbye to all of you and never think about any of you ever again. So let's just keep this professional, shall we?
Hey, man, it's cool. We don't have to talk about it. It just doesn't really make sense that you're here doing this when you were really successful before.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing about it makes sense. But that's how life is. You can work hard and play the game and make all of the right decisions. And you may even get what you want for a time. But that doesn't mean anything. Everything changes.
Hey, we get it, but if you keep looking at stuff negatively like that, you're gonna be miserable forever.
I don't need advice from you. I don't need anything from any of you. You want to tell me how I should look at things? You know what, children? I've got news for you. Life sucks. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but sometimes life is hard. Sometimes things aren't fair. You should get used to it now.
Sorry, man. Do you think you're the only one who has it hard?
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm not saying I'm the only one who has it hard. I'm saying that you can't understand the things I've had to go through. Every day I wake up and drag myself around this godforsaken planet is a minor miracle. I deserve a medal every time I walk through that door.
Okay, yeah. So you acknowledge we all have problems too. They're just not as important as your problems.
I didn't say that.
No, man, it's cool. Listen, I've been working since I was 13 to help my dad pay rent. He almost killed himself making sure we had enough to eat. You want to know why I was late tonight? I was bringing him back from the hospital. He's been having trouble breathing for weeks. Still trying to go to work every day, though, because he don't have a choice. And now I'm trying to get back to school so I can give my daughter a better life than I had. Yeah, my girlfriend's pregnant, and instead of being with her or with my dad, I'm here trying to remember stuff I never learned in the first place. I sure as hell ain't here to get lectured on how life isn't fair by some old dude who's bitter because his heyday is over. I'm out, man.
Jamie leaves. After a pause, The others, except for Blake, begin to leave.
Okay, let's end early today. Enjoy spring break, everyone.
Mr. Gamble, I think maybe you should find someone to talk to.
I have someone. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry that we upset you.
It's not any of you.
All the students except Blake leave as Robin sits at the desk.
Hey, that wasn't cool.
I know, Blake. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Blake, you already know all of this, don't you? This class.
Yeah?
So why are you here?
I knew who you were already. Dragonfly is one of my favorite books. And I didn't think the sequel was nearly as bad as everyone said it was.
Thank you?
I've been bouncing around different jobs. I feel like I'm wasting my life. So last year I decided I wanted to do something that mattered. I wanted to become a teacher. So when I saw that you were going to be here teaching a class, I wanted to see how you do it.
Wait. So...
I didn't sign up for this class to learn English. I signed up to learn how to teach.
I'm sorry, kid. You must be pretty disappointed.
Blake stammers for a bit, trying to find the right words. After a few seconds, they give up and slowly look up. This is the first time we've seen that Blake is making eye contact. Robin senses Blake's discomfort.
Enjoy your week off, Blake.
Thanks. You
Robin-
too.
Robin places his head in his hands. Blackout. Act 2, Scene 1. Dr. Hamilton's office the following week.
Yeah, so, in summary, I really screwed everything up.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It's just so frustrating, though. I get what I said was kind of...
Incredibly rude.
I was gonna say ill-advised, but sure, rude. But I feel like I did ask them politely to leave the subject alone. Twice.
From what you told me, it does sound like you made an effort. I know it didn't end very well, but that still feels like progress to me.
Progress? How long do I have to spin my wheels trying to become who I used to be?
You can never be who you used to be. If that's your goal, you're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah, well, I like who I used to be. I miss that guy.
All of the things you liked about yourself back then are still in you. They'll just manifest themselves a little differently going forward. It sounds like you tried to be patient, but this situation wasn't quite within your capabilities yet. Can you think of any specific ways the situation could have been handled better?
Honestly, no.
No.
I feel like I did my part. They should have been able to see that I was hurting. They should have left it alone. And trying to give me advice afterwards and trying to relate like they have a clue?
Many people attempt to form a connection by sharing their own similar experiences.
Yeah. And you know what? I get that they've had problems. Obviously, everyone has. But none of them have had to endure the kind of suffering that I have.
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
You just said your difficulties have been greater than theirs. How do you know? What sort of things have they gone through?
I don't know, okay? Is that what you want me to say? I try to keep it professional in there. I'm not interested in hearing them complain, but I doubt any of them would trade my life for theirs.
Robin, why are you here? Last week you said you were done with therapy and done with me. Why are you back on my couch?
Yeah, about that. I realize I may have been a little rash in my comments. I probably shouldn't have said that.
But you did say it, and it would have been easier to stay away. So I'll ask again. Why are you here?
I don't know. It's not like I enjoy being the way that I am. I just don't know what else to do.
Do you trust that I know what I'm doing?
Sure, you seem great as far as therapists go.
Okay. Then I need you to listen for a second. I take a cognitive approach to treatment, which basically means that I believe that changing thought patterns is the key to changing behaviors. As therapists, we're trained to ask leading questions of patients to help them come to realize things on their own. I've been trying that with you for some time, but it isn't working. So I'm just going to be direct. You do not want to get better.
That's ridiculous.
Is it? You say you want to change, but you don't actually change anything.
Why would I not want to get better?
Because your pain makes you feel special.
What?
Why are you so resistant to the idea that other people have had hard lives too?
Because what I went through was worse.
What would happen if it wasn't? Hypothetically speaking, how would you feel if someone had a crazier story than you?
I guess I feel like it made my struggle less meaningful. Oh, crap.
So, do you see how your students might feel like you're trying to make their struggles less meaningful?
Yeah, whatever. I get what you're saying. You're probably not wrong.
Let's work under the assumption that I'm not.
Okay, fine. So what now? Should I apologize or...
Well, let's unpack this a little more. Come on, this is what you pay me for.
Okay, fine. Let's unpack.
How do you want people to treat you?
Don't know. Well,
Do you want to be treated like a victim?
I mean, I guess in a way I do. But I don't want anyone's pity or anything. I just want... I don't really know.
You want people to acknowledge the strength it took to stand back up.
Yes, that's exactly it. Ah.
Follow-up question. How are they going to acknowledge it if they don't know about it?
Okay, don't love where this is going.
Another follow-up question. Don't you think your students would like someone to acknowledge the strength they've shown in their lives?
Yes.
Don't you think it might mean a lot to them if it came from a respected authority figure?
So what are you suggesting? We all sit around with a box of tissues and sing Kumbaya until we achieve some spiritual connection and discover the true meaning of Christmas?
I think when your next class is done, we'll need to spend a session or two delving into how and why you use sarcasm as a deflection anytime the conversation starts getting uncomfortable for you.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm not a touchy-feely guy.
Yet. Now, you were telling me that you had given them some sort of writing assignment. I seem to remember it being something about along these lines.
Yes. I went with the first Google result for adult ed writing assignment and asked them to, what made them want to go back to school.
Have you looked at the papers yet?
I have not yet summoned the strength to do so, no.
Well, maybe you should do that. It might help you understand them. And that understanding is the first step towards making a connection.
You really think I can connect with these kids? And that's gonna help me somehow?
Yes, to both questions.
Fine. I will try to make a small connection of some sort with these little irritants.
That's the spirit. So, are we going to read those papers tonight?
I didn't even take them home with me. They're probably still sitting on the desk. Some teacher I am.
There is still time to become the educator that you want to be.
But these aren't the students I'm meant to be teaching. I have a PhD, and I'm not even being condescending this time. I mean this sincerely. How am I supposed to be the man I know I can be if I'm stuck at a job I'm absurdly overqualified for?
Why did you decide to become a teacher in the first place?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Well, not to sound corny, but maybe these students can remind you.
And if they can't?
If they can't, your life isn't over. We'll just keep trying until we find it.
Okay. Hey, look, for all the grief I've given you, you really are a good therapist.
Thank you. I'm where I can do some good. I hope you find this piece as well.
Yeah, me too.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 2. The students are back at the bar. It's the first time they've seen each other since the incident, and they've been airing their grievances for a little while already. Jamie and Cameron are visibly angry.
I'm not going back.
You can't quit now.
I'm not quitting. I'm just not going to deal with that guy anymore.
Yeah, but then you'll have to start the class over again in a couple months.
Have you guys not been paying attention? Did you hear what he said to me? About me.
Yeah, man, he said it about all of us.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Jamie on this one. Like, if you guys learned anything, I know I'm dumb, but like, I'm not this dumb, am I?
I mean, guys, we can't just give up. We're not doing this for him. We're doing it for ourselves.
That's inspiring and all, but like, it shouldn't be this hard.
What about you, Egghead? You haven't said anything. What happened in that super secret meeting you guys had after class?
It wasn't a super secret meeting. I just didn't leave right away. Any of you could have been there too.
Whatever, man. What did he say?
He apologized.
What?
He said he knew I was disappointed in the class and that he was sorry.
That doesn't sound like him.
This guy is an enigma.
I swear to God, Devin, we don't need a dictionary to vomit on us every time you open your mouth.
I like words.
Stop saying things I can't spell. Learn to read.
Hey, guys, maybe we can just tone it down a bit. People are starting to stare.
You want some of this, Johnny? Huh? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Morgan takes Cameron's drink.
Okay, honey, I think we should take a little bit of a break.
See? We were just talking about him and we're at each other's throats. This guy is toxic. I don't want to be in the same room with him.
I think he's gonna be better next time.
What makes you think that?
It seems like he wasn't expecting people to find out about his past. He reacted angrily, but I think once he's had some time to think, he'll realize what he did was wrong. I think he knew that already when we left.
It's too late.
I don't know. He definitely owes us an apology. Might be nice to see him grovel a bit.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't?
Then we get the satisfaction of walking out on him again.
Not gonna lie, that did feel good.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll go in there, demand an apology, and then walk out if he doesn't capitulate.
Devin?
Oh, okay. I think we have a solid plan here. Let's go to one more class and give him the chance to convince us to stay. Deal?
Yeah, I'm in.
Whatever.
Fine.
Okay.
I was planning to go anyways, for sure.
Oh yeah, the gang's all back together.
Were we ever apart?
Shh. You're ruining the moment.
Right, sorry.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 3. Lights are up on the empty classroom. Robin enters and locates the small pile of essays. He sits at his desk and begins reading one. Angel appears in the spotlight downstage opposite him and delivers excerpts from her paper.
I used to be real good in school. I got really good grades, all A's and B's. Well, one C, but that was history, and like, who cares? But when I was 16, I made a bad decision and dated this real loser. He was one of those douchebags that loves his Mazda more than his girlfriend. I didn't really have anyone looking out for me, and he made me feel special. Next thing you know, I'm pregnant with twins, and he's gone. It's hard being a mom at my age. After the boys, there was no way I could go to school. I dropped out before senior year. I spent over a decade being a mom while working whatever job would pay the bills. Now they're in high school, so I can finally think about me. So I'm on the wait list for the nursing program at some community college. I got a year to get my GED, but I need to take a couple of classes first. This is one of them.
Lights down on Angel. And up on Jamie.
I was 8 when my mom died from cancer. She fought hard, but it was too much for her. We really struggled for a while. My dad was always working, but he couldn't make enough money. When I was 11, my dad set up a cleaning company. He'd drop me and my sister off at school and work all day, then pick us up and bring us to the places he cleaned at night. We helped as much as we could, and probably made it take longer, honestly, but I think my dad was just happy to spend some time with us. Working all the time was really rough on his health, though. So instead of going to high school, I started helping him during the day, too. I didn't like school anyway, and I wasn't too good at it. But now I'm going to be a dad. It's a little scary. I figured if I could learn a few things, maybe I can get a better job. You know, be a receptionist or something. Give our daughter more than what I had. Maybe my dad won't have to kill himself working 70 hours a week.
Lights down on Jamie and up on Morgan.
Do I think River's actually going to work for NASA? Honestly, no. But stranger things have happened, and I don't want it to be me that gets in the way. Sometimes I wonder what I could have done if I hadn't been so lazy in school. I like the idea of becoming a lawyer. Law school sounded exhausting, though, and it still does. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I don't really have any plans after this. I don't know if I want to get a degree, or maybe just learn a skill. I just know I need something. You'd think by now I would have it all figured out, right? My life is basically half over and I'm still just floating around doing whatever. I think part of me was hoping that coming back to school would give me some sort of clarity, a purpose, or something. It hasn't yet, but there's still time. Until then, I think River can see how hard I'm trying. Maybe it'll inspire them to try harder too.
Lights down on Morgan and up on Blake.
I came back to school because I don't like my life. I don't feel like I'm doing anything that matters. I don't make friends easily. I have a hard time connecting with people my age. But I get along well with kids. I understand them, and they understand me. I think I can help them, and I want to try. I'll be starting college in the fall. People keep asking if I'm scared, but I don't really understand why. I know what I want to do, and I'm taking steps to do it. Shouldn't that be what everyone does? All I know is that I don't want to look back in 10 years and wish I had done more right now. I want to look back in 10 years and see this moment as being when my life changed for the better. I don't know how much this specific class will help that, but it's a start.
Lights down on Blake and up on Cameron.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. I am not loving this. I didn't really want to come back to school, but I know I gotta. I'm not gonna be a rocket scientist or nothing, but it'd be cool if I could be like an electrician or a plumber or whatever. Any of that elbow grease stuff, it's all Gucci.
Jesus Christ, Cameron, are you serious?
Well, I know I ain't that good of a student, and maybe you're sick of me by now, but I want to make changes, you know? I want to be good at something for once. Won't be writing, but I just need to get good enough to pass tests. I'm trying to give my mom something to be proud of. Sorry if I'm being rude. I just hate all of this.
Lights down on Cameron and up on Devin.
I am not a smart woman. I am not blind to this. I am trying very hard to do good in this class, but it is difficult. I am bad at sentences and stuff. Like, how is this thing supposed to be 750 words? That is too many words. I got 200 tops. But whatever. I am in school to be less bad with talking. I'm not going to college or anything. Instead, I am just trying to improve upon my ample skills. Know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's enough of that.
Robin sits back in his chair and thinks. He's putting together the pieces he received from Dr. Hamilton and the students. It dawns on him that he has to do something he doesn't want to do. Blackout. Act 2, Scene 4. The classroom a week later. Lights up on Robin, already in the room. Students file in. There's an air of tension.
Okay, I hope you all had a good spring break. I think we should address the elephant in the room. The last time I saw you guys, I was a little...
Incredibly rude?
I was going to say less than cordial, but sure. I said some things that weren't kind. I had unfair expectations for all of you. I'm sorry for that. I was dismissive and self-centered.
Thank you for saying that.
I've been trying to think about what you said, about how you've all had to work hard to get here. I've tried to think of a way to say this that doesn't make me sound like an out-of-touch, upper-crust elitist.
Not off to a great start.
But I genuinely didn't understand why you would have had to work hard to get here. And it's been brought to my attention that this ignorance is my fault. So I'm asking for your help. I've read your papers, I've learned a lot. But I want to give you the opportunity to help me understand even more. Tonight, I need you guys to be the teacher. Teach me how to see things from a different perspective.
I'll go. Hi, I'm Angel.
This
Hi,
is
Angel.
our 8th class. We all know each other's names.
I'm sorry. I thought this was the part where you stop talking and just listen.
You're right. You're right. Please continue.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Angel.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, so what do you want to know?
Well, I'm not sure how much of what was in your essay you wanted to share with everyone else.
Oh, don't worry. We all read each other's papers before we turn them in.
Why?
Well, it was more like we had Blake read all of them to make sure we wouldn't fail.
I'm not taking responsibility for this.
I see. Well, you mentioned in your essay that you had a difficult time as a young mother. I can only imagine some of the challenges you must have faced. But rather than imagine, maybe you could tell me about some of them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's really hard being a mother that young. Couldn't even drive yet. My mom was bringing me to doctor's appointments and stuff. I was always the youngest mom at all the other stuff for the kids, birthday parties, stuff at school. Everyone was like 10 years older than me, and they looked at me like I was trash.
Is that how you saw yourself?
Yeah, for a little bit. But I know better than that now, and so don't go giving me a pity party or nothing.
I wouldn't dream of it. So it sounded like you just put your life on hold for 13 years?
Yeah, I mean, what else was I supposed to do? I love my kids, and I wanted them to have it better than I did. I can't be home as much as I want because I'm working, but my kids know I love them, and I'll whoop their ass if they get anybody pregnant at 16.
And you're giving them a fantastic example of how to work hard to achieve their dreams. That's truly commendable. A lot of people wouldn't be willing to make that sacrifice, especially at 17. You should be proud of yourself.
Oh, I am.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you for sharing that. Would anyone else like to assist with my edification? Jamie, I was very touched by your story.
Were you?
I truly was. That was an incredible amount of sacrifice. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, you still don't really get it, though. It's not like I had a choice. I'm just doing what I gotta do.
But you do have a choice. You could have chosen to be selfish, but you didn't.
Yeah, man, that's not who I am. I couldn't do that.
You're a good person, Jamie.
Thanks.
You know, if you're thinking about a desk job, I think the school has some evening typing classes too.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to write good first. I took one of those online tests that said my spelling was real bad and my sentences run on, whatever that means.
I see. So Shakespeare probably wasn't very helpful to you then.
No, not at all. I don't really feel like I've learned much, to be honest.
Yeah. That's on me, isn't it? Well, here's a quick grammar lesson. As a general rule, if it comes after the verb, you would say well, not good. So you need to learn to write well.
Okay. As a general rule, are there times when you don't say well after the verb?
I can't think of any, but the English language is really weird. There aren't a lot of rules that are true 100% of the time. Honestly, even though it's the language that gets spoken around you, it's considered by some to be the hardest language to learn. I forget this sometimes because I'm older and I've made this my life, but learning English can really suck sometimes. Don't feel bad if you struggle with it. So yeah, use well after a verb, and if you find an exception to that rule someday, let me know.
Cool. And the verb is the action word, right?
See, you learned something.
Yeah, I guess.
This is great. Thank you. Blake, I'd really love to know your thoughts if you feel comfortable sharing them.
Yeah, okay. So, like you all know, I have autism.
I have a question about that, actually. I thought autism meant you can't talk and stuff.
Yeah, if it's really severe, that can happen. I'm relatively high functioning, though. Basically, it means that I have a really hard time understanding tone of voice, body language, and facial expressions. I can't tell if someone's mad or confused. I can't tell if someone's being sarcastic or not. People don't realize how much of communication is in nonverbal stuff. It's like that part of my brain just doesn't work.
That sounds incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, it gets me in trouble a lot.
I've never noticed you having a problem with that.
Yeah, mostly because I've learned not to talk too much. If someone asks me a question, I answer it. But otherwise, it's easier to just keep it to myself. I get so paralyzed trying to figure out if what I want to say is gonna make sense and my face and tone need to be. It's just so exhausting trying to have a conversation with someone. And then when I inevitably do it wrong, it just feels like all that work was for nothing.
You shouldn't have to do that. You deserve to be yourself.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to do it. But I do have to. And people don't make sense to me. And I don't make sense to them. But I'm the minority, so it's me that change.
I think society seems to be getting more understanding of things like that.
Yes and no. More people have heard of it and have some understanding, but it's still viewed as a negative thing. I think we're so evolved now using words like neurotypical and neurodivergent, but the implication behind it is that my thinking pattern is wrong. It's not typical, it's divergent. No one ever said divergent as a compliment.
My child calls it neurospicy.
I've heard that before. Maybe it'll catch on. Probably won't be seen in psychology textbooks anytime soon, though.
Blake, I can't say that I understand what you have to deal with. All I can say is that this is a space where you can be you. If something doesn't make sense to us, we'll do our best to understand. If you can do that in every interaction, every day, we can do it for a couple hours once a week. You can loosen up.
Everyone says that, and I'm sure they think they mean it, but it's always worse than they think it'll be. It's always too much for them to handle. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be pessimistic. I appreciate the thought. Thank you. I'll try.
You're a good guy, Blake. I'm confident you'll be able to find people who will love the real you. Might take a while, but they're out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Robin places his hands on Blake's shoulder. Blake tries to make eye contact, but fails.
Body cam.
Ah, you remembered.
I fear that's going to be permanently seared into my brain.
That's the goal, boss. My story ain't anything special. My dad went out for cigs one night when I was 11. Never came back, so I acted out a bit. It's all good, though. I grew up.
It's hard. I'm sorry. Every child should have parents that love them. I'm sorry your father wasn't able to do that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I found my dad on Facebook a few months ago. He's got a new family, a couple kids. They do family stuff together, pick apples, take pictures with the Easter Bunny and stuff, so I guess he is able to do that. Just not with me.
Kim, your father's choices aren't your fault.
It's cool, okay? I'm fine. It's in the past. He wants to pretend I don't exist? That's fine. I can do that too. I've been getting by without him more than half my life. But when I have kids, they're never going to have to worry about that from me. I'm going to be there.
It's a great attitude. A lot of people use things like that as an excuse. They just pass that trauma on to the next generation.
Not me. I'm going to be better than him.
I'm not trying to compare my situation to yours. So please don't take it that way. But I had a father that left a lot to be desired too. I felt the same way. I was going to be better than him. But when we had my daughter, I realized that even though I knew I wasn't going to do things his way, I still didn't know what way I should do them. If I could give you a recipe that's missing some ingredients, I've shown you a way not to make the dish, but you still don't know how to actually make it. I was lucky enough to have a friend who was a psychologist. He majored in childhood development, and he helped me tremendously to be a good parent.
Nah, I don't need a shrink. I can figure it out on my own.
Maybe. But wouldn't it be easier with some help?
I don't know. That's not really for me, you know?
Of course. That's your choice. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was, but I encourage you to think about it. Having someone to talk to can help us reach our destination faster. It's definitely not always easy, though. I know that all too well. I believe in you. I believe you can be better than your father. I just don't want you to struggle more than you have to. You've been through enough already.
It's cool. Thanks for caring. I'll be good, though.
I know you will. Devin, that just leaves you if you want to share.
No tragic backstory for me, I'm afraid. Got two parents that love me. We weren't rich, but I was never worried about whether I'd be able to eat. I was just never good in school. Graduated with a 1.6 GPA.
Damn, bro, I didn't think they'd even let you graduate with that.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm not dumb or nothing. I took an IQ test this weekend and I got an 81, so I don't know.
What? Bro, and 81 means you're stupid.
No, 81 is a B minus.
Dude.
Anyway, I'm not trying to go back to school or nothing. I'm an assistant manager at Walmart, which is fine. But by night, I'm Little Fuzz with 3 Z's.
I'm sorry, you're what?
Wait, I thought you looked familiar. Did you play at Murphy's Bar a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, you were there?
Yeah, man, I was hanging out with some friends, and they're like, honestly, the rest of those guys sucked. But then you came on, we were like, damn, somebody needs to sign this girl.
Yo, so I found out later there was a rep from Indigent there that night. I got another gig next week, and they said they might want to talk after.
Can someone please explain to me what's going on?
This chick's the best rapper in the local scene.
What?
Yeah, man, I'm full of surprises and legendary bars.
And a record label wants to talk to you.
If I nail this next show, yeah. It's a regional label. It's not like Sony or anything, but I'm excited.
Hey, everyone has to start somewhere. But if you're not planning to go to college, why are you taking this class?
I've been having a hard time coming up with new stuff, you know? Figured I should learn some new words and stuff. This seemed like the place to do that.
I see. And have I taught you any new words?
Well, I'm almost done with a new song called Defenestrate.
Is that a joke?
Nah, man, it's gonna be fire.
And I presume fire is a good thing.
Dude, you're so old sometimes.
Well, I think it's commendable that you're taking the time to work on your craft.
Yo, you should come to my next show. Cheer me on.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. No, I'm sorry, that was a lie. I'm definitely not going to do that. But I do sincerely hope it goes well for you.
Hey, so, we've all gone. It's your turn now.
Me? No. I wanted to get a better understanding of where you were all coming from. I have that now. Thank you.
Come on, Teach. We want to understand you now.
Yeah, I feel like you owe us some sort of explanation after that outburst last time.
It does seem fair.
Okay. I guess I do owe you all an explanation. I've lived a good life. I was raised in a good family. I cruised through school, got a job teaching at a high school, married a woman who was way too good for me, and completed my PhD before I was 30. I began working as a college professor while I wrote my first book.
Oh, the dragonfly thing.
No, my first book was terrible. I mean, really bad. It was a dystopian novel about household appliances becoming sentient and murdering us all. It was not good, but I persisted. Eventually, I stumbled on the idea for Dragonfly right around the time my daughter Beth was born. It took me away from my writing for a while, but I loved being a father. I loved teaching her things. When that little girl laughed, it was as if everything in the world was right. Anyway, I wrote the book over the course of the next 10 years or so, and it ended up being a huge hit. Suddenly, I was going on talk shows and doing book signings. It was wild. Like all of my dreams had fallen into place. I kept writing, doing short stories or freelance things. I went to a couple of conventions a year to promote Dragonfly. 6 or 7 years later, I got the call. They wanted to turn my story into a TV show. My story. It was something I'd never dared to dream of. And the timing was perfect. My daughter had just graduated high school and was off to college. I had the time to pursue things like that. So I said yes. I wish I never had.
What do you mean? That's a dream come true.
At first, maybe. But the TV industry is nothing like I thought it was. They took my story apart and put it back together so many times, I barely recognized it anymore. They changed the characters, they changed the dialogue, and I couldn't stand most of the people. The longer I stayed, the more I stayed in my trailer. The network said the book was only going to give us 3 seasons of material, so my publishing company told me to write a sequel that could be easily adapted into TV. I worked with other screenwriters. I got all the credit, but they got to say in the story. It came out terrible. I hated it. The publishers hated it. The fans hated it. It destroyed the show. Everyone lost interest and we got canceled after 2 seasons.
That sounds terrible. Still, it's a very unique experience. Most people never get to see that side of things.
You're right. I should try to look at it positively. I know. It's hard to, though.
Is that why you're so grumpy? Your story got taken from you and ruined?
No. No, as disappointing as that was, I was still well enough respected to keep doing what I loved. And it was nice to be back home. Beth was in her final semester, and she was planning to come back to live with us for a little to find a job and save some money. Things were falling into place again. Till.
What is it?
Until Bethany, my daughter. She was driving home from something, a party or something. I don't quite remember. It was 2 weeks before graduation. Someone crossed over the yellow line. Drunk driver. One of those big stupid trucks that make people feel tougher than they are. He hit her car head on. She didn't stand a chance. She was pronounced dead at the scene.
Dude.
I'm so sorry.
She was 22. Her life was truly about to begin. It was a pain that I can't put into words, ironically enough. I honestly don't know how a person can truly recover from it. I don't think I ever will. Anita, well, she was worse off than me. It had been so close. She just couldn't take it. She stuck around for a few months, but one day she just packed up and left.
Damn, that's cold.
Why would she just leave? Like, wouldn't it be better to be with you so you guys could grieve together or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I needed, but she couldn't look at me without seeing our daughter. She couldn't live in that house. She couldn't live in that town. I think the final straw was seeing some of Beth's friends out on town one night. It destroyed her. Hey, it's okay. It's okay, guys. It was a long time ago. I'm never going to be totally okay, but I'm getting better.
How? How do you ever recover from that?
Well, for a little while I didn't. I started drinking heavily. In all honesty, I think I wanted to end it all, but I was too much of a coward. So I drowned myself every night. I ended up with 2 DUIs. It was so stupid, so selfish. I could have taken someone else's child away from them. I avoided jail time, but I lost my license and I ended up with a criminal record. I ended up losing everything. I lived in a motel for 4 years. Well, I slept in a motel. I lived in the bar from time it opened until the time it closed. I wasted over 4 years of my life on that stool. Anita found out and somehow she flew back for a little while, got me sober.
He pulls out a small token.
This is my 6-month chip. I got it 2 weeks ago. And even after being a best-selling author, this is my biggest accomplishment.
Okay, I guess she isn't all bad. I mean, that was a really nice thing to do.
Yes, it was a huge help. But the work is just beginning. Trying to rebuild my reputation, and in the meantime, I'm working at a state college to pay the bills.
I'm so sorry. It's amazing that you have overcame as much as you have.
I had a lot of help. I wouldn't have made it this far without my therapist, that's for sure. That's the only reason I was suggesting it before, Cam. I didn't mean to imply that there was something wrong with you. It just helped me a lot. I thought maybe it could help you too, that's all.
It's cool, man.
Don't you have, like, friends you could talk to?
No, not really. My drinking made me even more unlikable than I am now. I'm getting better, though. I've been able to make a few new friends, rekindle a couple relationships I lost. It's just another tool in the toolbox, though. That's something they taught us in AA. We have to have a lot of different tools to be able to work properly. When we use only one tool, in my case alcohol, we can't function. It ended up being much harder than I thought it would be, though. I almost didn't make it a couple times. I might have more hard times ahead, but I think I have the tools I need to get through it now.
Thank you for telling us all that. It must have been really hard.
I think I needed to. I haven't really told anyone about it besides my therapist. Feels almost a relief to say it out loud.
Sorry I gave you a hard time last class. I had no idea.
Apology politely refused. You have no reason to be sorry. I do. I was acting like I deserved special treatment. I never considered your own challenges. The truth is, I was just there to get a paycheck and go home. I wasn't really interested in teaching you. And that should be the primary concern of a teacher. So I would like you to tell me what you need to learn here.
I need to understand those metaphor things better.
I still don't understand prepositions at all.
People used to say I use slang too much, which is whack, but I guess I gotta learn the right way to say stuff.
Yeah, I get told that too.
I straight up don't know anything at all.
Okay, we can work with that. Let's get started.
Blackout, Act 2, Scene 5. Dr. Hamilton's office the following week.
So it wouldn't be professional to say I told you so, but
I know. Thank you. I know I haven't exactly been an easy patient. I'm sorry.
I've had much more difficult clients than you. But I appreciate the apology. Are you finding it easier to deal with your students' idiosyncrasies?
Yeah. They're not so bad. Kids are starting to grow on me. A bit. We're not hanging out on the weekends or anything, but I think I can actually be a positive force in their lives going forward. You should see the lesson plan I came up with for tonight. We're going to rewrite Catcher in the Rye in the style of Dr. Seuss.
Well, that's certainly an original idea. You'll have to let me know how it goes.
I will. I'm actually excited for class. I think Devin's going to be really good at it.
Good. I'm glad that you're connecting with others.
Ah, yes, I'm practically a new man.
I'd like to take this opportunity to offer some advice. A warning, really. Things are starting to get better, and that's great. Take time to feel that. Live in that joy, that contentment. But understand it will ebb and flow.
You're saying I'm going to relapse?
I'm saying that there are still hard times ahead. It's possible we're through the worst, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, I know. So what should I do?
Do exactly what you've been doing. Take your medication, keep seeing me every week, do the exercises that have been helping you. It's important that you don't take your eye off the ball when you start feeling better. Don't abandon the things that have gotten you here. Otherwise, you might lose all this progress.
Yeah, I get it. It's like that in AA, too. Tell us not to miss meetings no matter what, even if we haven't been tempted to drink.
Exactly. Stay strong. Maintain your good habits. Don't start slacking because you feel better.
I won't. Thank you, Doctor. I truly appreciate everything you've done for me. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't give up on me.
I never give up on someone who's trying.
Still, probably would have been easier to pawn me off on someone else.
Well, we're about out of time for today. Before I let you go, can we briefly talk about the medication?
It's fine, I guess. I still don't like it, but I can see how it's helping. Lows aren't quite so low.
That's good to hear. Please keep an eye on those side effects and let me know if anything changes.
I will. Thanks again, Doc.
Robin leaves. Dr. Hamilton shuffles some papers for a moment, and there's a knock at the door. Dr. Hamilton rises and opens the door.
Hi, you must be Cameron.
Cameron enters nervously.
Yeah. You the brain doctor?
You could say that, yes. I'm Dr. Hamilton.
Cool. Yeah. Have you ever seen that play, Hamilton?
You know, I'm actually not a big fan of the theater, to be honest.
Oh, right on. Yeah, me either, but I saw it on Disney Plus and it was okay.
Maybe I'll check it out sometime. Would you like to have a seat?
Okay. Yeah. Am I supposed to, like, lie down or?
You can if you'd like. Most people prefer to sit, but it's completely okay if you'd rather lie down.
Okay, cool.
Cameron lays on the couch.
So, like, how does this work?
Well, in your email you said that you were struggling with some things from your past. Can you tell me about what's troubling you?
Yeah. So, I got pretty messed up when my dad left.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 6, classroom, several weeks later.
All right, everyone. That was great. A fantastic end to our final class.
Oh, don't say that. Now I'm sad.
I know, I'm almost gonna miss this class. Almost.
Well, I graded your final papers over the weekend, and I have them here.
What did I get, teach?
You want me to say it in front of the class?
Yeah, man, I have no secrets from my English for dropouts class.
You got a C+.
I'll take it.
You showed a lot of improvement by the end. I appreciate how hard it must have been for you to stop using texting abbreviations in your essays.
It was very difficult, TBH.
Anyone else want to know their grade?
Yeah, why not?
A-.
Oh, yeah, the smart kid is back.
All right, teach. Be kind to me.
Devin, honestly, you're selling yourself short. Your grammar still needs some work, but you show a lot of creativity in your writing. In honor of your IQ, B-.
You're kidding. How
No.
much did you pay him for that grade? Hey, man, if you had asked, I would have imparted my wisdom upon you.
Oh, look, she said it properly.
I guess you could say she put the dumb in wisdom.
Dude.
Oh.
What?
No, I'm sorry. Was that over the line? I was joking. I didn't actually mean to hear dumb.
Oh, dude, don't worry. It was funny as hell. We're just kind of shocked to hear you speak.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that more often.
Now, before we leave, I just want to say something. I know things didn't start off very well in the class. I know that was my fault. I truly appreciate all of you for sticking with it and putting up with me.
Aw, you getting all sappy on us?
Just a little bit. 3 months ago, I was angry at the universe and feeling sorry for myself, and I still am, but a little less so. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I hope I've been able to do something for you in return. And if there's anything I can do to assist any of you in the future, please let me know.
Can you introduce me to Matthew Hansen to kickstart my acting career?
Absolutely not. But anything else, I'm there. And on a related note, I'd like to make an announcement. My day job at the State College allows me to hire an intern, so beginning in the fall semester, Blake will officially be a teaching assistant at Lakeshore State College.
Yay, me.
I mean, you didn't get enough of this guy during class, now you want to work for him?
I'm just doing it to make my resume look better.
All right, everyone. That's it. I wish you all of the best, and again, thank you for everything.
The students begin to leave. Robin sits at the desk and slowly starts packing up papers. Cameron and Angel linger in the door, having a whispered conversation.
Hey, teach. We're all going out for a drink to celebrate. You can come too if you wanna.
Yeah, but we don't have to get drinks. We can get some wings or something.
Sorry.
No need to be sorry. That sounds nice. I'd like that. I'll be right down.
Robin collects his belongings, and walks to the door. He stops and turns to look back at the classroom. Blackout. End of play.
We're being told to bow.
All right, folks, I have to keep us at the time so the lovely folks at the library can leave on time. So we've got about 5 minutes.